I have a new slogan for Nevada to persuade out-of-staters to move here. Move to Nevada. Our education system is in such good shape that we will guarantee your child will graduate from 8th grade. We're sorry, but we are unable to guarantee that your child will be able to read or write or add and subtract. Well, how about that, folks? I've lived in Nevada 55 years. I graduated from Las Vegas High School in 1956 in a class of 412. My guess is that we had about a 90 to 95% graduation rate. Parents' dreams for their children did not stop with high school at graduation. Parents' dreams were for their children to graduate from college and do better than their parents had. So what happened to those dreams? I will have been chancellor a little over 5 years when I leave in June of this year. Like most of you out there, I came to the job with a sense that education was an overweight, lazy, unproductive mass of intellect with no direction and little desire to get there fast. Well, I have looked at the alleged inefficiencies not only in higher education but in K through 12. The majority of educators work very hard, are much smarter than their critics, and are far more organized and efficient than their critics. If they have a shortcoming, it is that they are, for the most part, not aggressive, mean-spirited people, but are instead caring, concerned individuals who want to teach, not fight. They do not organize well, they do not fight dirty, and the success of your children is more important than their own success. The average professor with a PhD has spent 20,000 hours, that is 10 years, at 40 hours per week, working at his or her expense to be able to teach at the college level. They receive no reimbursement for those 10 years, and they get no extra pay for being able to do what 99% of the public could never do. I have looked at the administration of the education system. I find them no less productive than the administrators of the television stations I own or the banks upon which I have served as a board member over the last 28 years. What then has made the Nevada education system go from good to average to less than average since the 1960s, when Nevada's high schools won multiple awards for being among the best in the nation? In the 1960s and 70s, every parent wanted his child to receive all the education possible. College today is no longer the goal of this society. Only a very few appreciate the importance of a college education. Whether recognizing the fact or not, in the 1980s, Nevadans adopted a new, much lower set of standards to determine if Nevada's children's education was satisfactory. Their vision and ambition then became, forget college. That was always too expensive and too long. Now we will be very happy if our kids graduate from high school. But then in the last 15 to 20 years, Nevadans adopted an even lower standard of dreams, ambitions, work ethics, and pride. When high school graduation rates dropped below 60%, the new standards became a new set of dreams, which are, guess what Billy and Jean are going to do to fill their life's dreams? They are actually going to graduate from 8th grade. Well, I hope. I have been critical of the governor for not supporting adequate funding of education. I have been critical of the legislature for the same reason. But folks, they have not put us into our present education dilemma. The state of K through 16 education in Nevada is where the public, that is you out there, has allowed it to sink. Your only relationship with the education system is to ship your unprepared kids to school, not with the expectation of success, but with the demand that an education system inadequately funded develop and/or repair children that you as a parent did not prepare for school or support while your children attended school. If you want a competent and productive education system, tell your governor and legislators to fund it. They do what they think you want them to do. That's why they're called public servants. It is the public, and that means you, that has created this disaster of a public education system. You may need to pay more taxes and sacrifice so that your children can go to college. You certainly need to instill in your children a desire to learn, a discipline of hard work, and a willingness to postpone instant gratification for their longer-term good. High school and college degrees that are difficult to gain but gives them a future. Maybe most importantly, you have to take part in your child's education. Your responsibility does not stop as they walk out the door to catch the bus. Even if you do not have children in school, each of us has a vested interest in contributing to the success of the current generation of students. This next generation of students will soon be responsible for providing the economic muscle that is necessary for current retirees to enjoy the continued benefits of governmental programs such as Social Security. The evidence is clear that Nevada's current choices spell disaster. Only 1 in 10 ninth graders will graduate from college here. As a state, Nevada is 49th or next to last in the percentage of its college-age citizens enrolled in a college or university. Nevada is at the bottom in the percentage of its population with any college degree, associate or bachelor's, and predicted to even get worse. You have heard your governor propose to cut the budgets for your colleges and universities by 36%. Well, let me tell you what this will mean for higher education. Last fiscal year, operating budget cuts of 4.5% or $28.3 million were made, and this fiscal year, cuts of 7.92% or $41.9 million were made. These were reductions to what were already starvation-level funding. As a consequence, you are seeing a reduction in classes and an increase in the number of students jammed into each class. This means that students will take much longer to graduate, it will cost them much more money, and they will lose time when they could be working and adding real value to Nevada's economy. At every campus, programs have been cut, programs that were part of building the quality of life of Nevada's communities. If the governor's budget proposals become a reality, what will the higher education system do? If the system were to cut 36% of the student enrollment to match the 36% budget cuts, this would close the College of Southern Nevada in Las Vegas and the Great Basin College in Elko. An alternative would be to close UNR, Truckee Meadows Community College, and Western Nevada College in Northern Nevada. Or the system could simply shut down UNLV and Nevada State College in Las Vegas. If the cuts were applied as the governor proposes, they would cut well over 50% at some of our institutions.